Oh my god, finally! We got a major video clip teaser of the outdoor subfloor coming to doors. I don't think you guys understand how monumental this is. These video clips have the capability of housing even more information about the upcoming update than just some normal image. Alright, so in case you weren't aware, every day until the release of the outdoor subfloor, we will be receiving a teaser showcasing upcoming features. And today's teaser, or should I say yesterday's since I am a day late, didn't disappoint. Not only have we received a better look at a new upcoming entity, but we also got confirmation of a familiar face that will be returning in the subfloor. And most importantly, there is a giant new mystery waiting to be solved. We have got a lot to discuss in this video, so with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so this is the teaser video in all of its glory, and I think we should start by giving a rundown of what's exactly going on here. What we are seeing is a new room coming to the outdoor subfloor, featuring a walkway leading to a staircase made of stone bricks. If I had to guess though, this staircase would lead to an indoor section of the subfloor, as we know based on previous teasers that this subfloor will take place both inside buildings and outside of them. In front of the staircase, a vine-covered chest can also be seen alongside a walking on grass prohibition sign. On the ground can be seen two instances of the new entity as well, that weird hole with some leaves coming out of it. And next to the vine-covered chest is Snare, believe it or not, confirming the entity will be present in this subfloor. Additionally, there is a giant mystery hiding in this teaser which I didn't mention in that rundown, but I won't spoil it for you just yet. So with all of that being said, let's go over everything new here one by one, and we'll try to analyze them as much as we can. Let's start with the Prohibition Sign. Now, this sign specifically tells players to not step on the grass, and what's interesting is this isn't the only time we've seen this sign. In fact, in the teaser shown to us right before this one, that same sign could have been seen in the distance, but back then it was way too difficult to make out what was on it. Now, something interesting about this sign is that the developers confirmed that there is a very specific reason why it's squeaky clean. And I think I may have figured it out. In case you weren't aware, a majority of the signs indoors, such as the fire damp warning signs, are more dirty to fit the aesthetic of the floors. However, this one, for some odd reason, is clean, and when I questioned it, the developer said that is for a specific reason. Anyways, I believe this sign actually has a gameplay function, and it actually ties into a very familiar face, who I'm sure you can all guess, and that is our man, the Groundskeeper. Now, as you probably know, the Groundskeeper is an upcoming major antagonist to this subfloor, at least I think given their repeated appearances in these teasers. And given what their name is, it's widely believed they will attempt to preserve the natural beauty of the subfloor, for lack of a better word. So, given how there is a specific reason why the sign is very clean, I believe that the Groundskeeper is the one keeping it clean, given how they are likely the one maintaining the outdoors. And that means they likely enforce the sign's message as well. What I'm thinking is that if the player steps on the grass for an extended period of time, that will eventually grab the attention of the Groundskeeper and they will, punish you accordingly, if you catch what I'm saying. This functionality not only ties into their suspected purpose in the subfloor, but it would also explain why the sign is meant to be clean, so I definitely think this will be the case. It also may be a method to prevent players from going out of bounds, because if they step on the grass too long, they will be killed. However, the Groundskeeper isn't the only entity we've learned about, as there are two others we have to discuss, those being Snare and whatever the heck this hole with leaves is. Now, it's been theorized for a variety of factors that Snare would be present in the subfloor, but for the longest time there was no evidence to prove that. Of course, that changed all with this teaser, where we can see Snare in their full glory right next to the vine-covered chest. But I mean, who gives a crap about Snare? We already know what they do. Let's talk about the new leaf hole entity. Now, we've actually known about this entity for quite a long while, but this is the first time we can get a good look of their appearance. There appears to be 3 leaves in each hole, and other than that, we don't really know anything else. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't help you guys here. Even though we know what this entity exactly looks like, I'm unsure as to how it may function. I assume that just like Snare, it would do something when stepped on, but other than that, I don't think there's anything else to go off of here. However, let's not dwell on that, as now it's time I talk about the big mystery of this teaser, that being the green lightning. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware, lightning indoors is purple. In fact, this teaser straight up shows that multiple times, and even without that, I'm sure you all know what lightning looks like indoors. I mean, it constantly plays in the greenhouse as well as just in normal hotel rooms. However, at some point in this teaser, something very strange happens. The lightning, instead of being purple, is bright green, and several sparks can be seen flying in the distance. This type of lightning also lasted a lot longer than just typical purple lightning. This obviously raises the question of what exactly is this strange green lightning, and the sparks it caused, and I only have one theory to explain that. This lightning may be an indicator for a new entity. More specifically, I think it's an indicator that our good old friend the Groundskeeper has spawned. Now, if you watched my last Doors video, you'd know that in the teaser we received before this one, a mysterious bright green light could have been seen being caused from an unknown source. I believe that source was in fact the Groundskeeper, given how the entity is believed to have a green color scheme given their vine body parts, as well as how sometimes entities can just emit light for no reason, such as halt or seek. Anyways, if the Groundskeeper is the one emitting this green light, then that could explain why their presence would be announced by this green lightning, as the character would be already associated with the color green. Additionally, given the presence of the Prohibition Sign, which we've discussed is already tied to the Groundskeeper, given how the entity would likely keep the sign clean and how they would enforce the message on the sign, the entity themselves appearing in the teaser themselves with the green lightning makes a lot more sense as the sign is literally right in front of us. Everything fits in so perfectly, so I definitely see the Groundskeeper being the reason behind the green lightning as being a viable option. Now, as for the sparks caused by the lightning, that is something I am unsure of. If I had to guess though, these sparks are just an additional visual effect so players can further differentiate the green lightning from normal purple lightning. If for example some players were colorblind and couldn't tell the difference based on just color. It could also be there to pinpoint the exact location of where the Groundskeeper spawns when the green lightning strikes, but other than those two theories, I'm unsure of what this could be for. Anyways, with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you think of this teaser as a whole. But more importantly, what do you think the plant hole entity would do, as I'm genuinely curious as to what its functionality is, as well as what you think the importance of the green lightning is, as although I do think my theory is viable, there are a lot of other explanations that could explain its presence. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I did hope you enjoy.